Oh, there we are. Okay, so I am stuck in traffic. So it's a Tuesday morning at 8:11. Look, you can see that. 8:11. So I am going to do just a little video here. And I do watch other people's videos. No, you're not. You're lying to the human race. Woo, you're like it is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts are actors, of course, and yeah, they get paid. Okay, that's enough of Flat Earth Man for right now. So I have this little brochure here that I do hand this out. But I'd like to go over a few things instructional wise, so when you're out there teaching, you can be aware of these things. The first one is the balloon. Whoops, hold on. Okay, so the balloon footage is pretty good. I like that one. Yes, they use a GoPro lens, a wide angle lens, which curves everything. Okay, well, let's look at number 2. 2 is the airplane, right? So let's see. The airplane is a nice idea, but what they're going to say is gravity is like a string or a tether from the center of the globe, and the same reason that they will, claim that there's curvature is the same reason that they will claim that the airplane just keeps going around the globe and it doesn't have to dip down, because the gravity will hold it at that position and it won't have to dip its nose down. So you have to, when you're teaching, you have to realize that there are other ways to look at this. And so if somebody brings these things up, don't go, oh no, I'm done, Don't gasp and think that your whole presentation is wrong. Some of these things, okay, so when they realize this and exit right. I'm sorry. When they research this, they're going to say, okay, so this flat earth stuff is stupid because gravity will hold it. Hopefully they will get to the point where they are going to the website and looking at the other videos, and they're past this point already. But I want to make up my own brochure, and I think number 2 will be eliminated from my brochure. Okay? So, what's number 3? I don't think so. It says, the law of perspective greatly limits our ability to see distances. Okay, number 3. That's a good one. Perspective and the way you see things. That's a good one. Okay. Number 4 is water. And that's also an excellent one. And you should know 3 or 4 places. I always bring up, when we're talking about gravity, oh, that's number 9. I'll bring that up later. Okay, so we see too far. So that should go in with, probably that should go in with the number 3, but it is a little different. Perspective is a little different than seeing too far, because in seeing too far, you have to use a zoom lens. So, I don't know that they're bringing in, I'm driving, so I don't have the whole thing memorized. Okay, you have to bring in angular resolution. Okay. Here's all right, number 6 is plane. Exit right. Okay, number 6, plane flights. Thank you. Harrisburg, no. New Jersey, yes. I want to go to New Jersey. Thank you. So plane flights, yes, you do lose them. They lose the GPS tracking, the ground positioning tracking. And Loran was the first military tracking, and now we have the ground-based towers, which is the same idea. But, you know, the military comes out with the first. The government, they have the technology, and then when they have it used for their purposes, and they figure out a way they can charge us and make money off us, then they'll release it into the general population. And did you ever notice that there's something called planned obsolescence, which means they'll put out a new phone or whatever, and in a year or two, it's already obsolete. And they make up these new programs that only work on the new phones. So if you want the best technology and be able to keep up with your friends or your, I don't know, you have to get everything new. So what do you do with the old stuff? Well, okay, you can sell it to grandma, but they're planning, and don't think that they don't have all this. They have it all available, but they don't release it all at one time. They just release it in dribs and drabs, so we have to buy something new. So I don't think that person is turning in here. So okay, plane flights. All right, number 7, jet streams. Well, yeah, that's true. The jet streams do look a lot easier on the flat Earth map.
Keep left.
Crepuscular rays, that's something I have on my banners too, and that is really telling, because everybody can see crepuscular rays. And it makes sense that the sun is really close and small. And you have to tell them that it's not hot burning gases. You have to say that, because that's what they have in their mind, that the sun is hot burning gases. And it's not. I have heard in the past that the sun is really cold, and it's just radiant heat. Well, it can't be cold per se, but because anytime you get closer to it, you know, you're going to be radiating that heat.
4 miles, then exit right.
Okay, 4 miles I get off. So how close can you get until you know it's cold? Well, anything you try to measure that with is going to warm up. So how do you know? So here's a parallel. You know, the controllers, the parasitic controllers, they tell us the truth, but they hide it in plain sight. So when they're talking about the thermosphere, and they say, oh, it's really, really hot up there, but the molecules are so far apart that you can't really detect it. And okay, so that makes absolutely no sense, because if you're in the thermosphere, then you're there and your molecules are not far apart, so you should be feeling that, right? So that does not preclude any kind of spaceship going up there or any kind of high-flying device. So that idea, though, the idea is what you should be looking for. So the sun is probably that same idea, that it is really not hot in itself, but when you get there, it radiates heat to you. So that's an idea that might be working. So it's kind of like a parallel. All right. Number 9, gravity. So gravity as defined is pulling to the center of the ball. And if you've ever heard any of my videos, my teaching videos, it's the curvature is part of that definition. Excuse me. So I can prove there's no gravity pulling to the center of the ball because there should be no natural flat places on Earth. And I use the Bonneville Salt Flats because that's a dried up salt lake. So whatever the surface was of that lake, the bottom should be reflected the same way. And some young man I was talking to said, well, what if they put, you know, just pour the salt right in the middle? I'm there, what? Well, that doesn't happen naturally, young man. So, no, I'm rejecting that. And he didn't argue with me, so I guess he knew that was kind of a dumb example too. But even the smartest people will try and come up with something that will keep what they know, because that is what their life is based on. That is their value, and their worth is their human knowledge. So, you know, just be kind and gentle because this is all they have. You have to just understand that. Okay, now, boats. Number 10 is boats. Boats going over the curve. That's an easy one. And they have pretty good pictures right there. Okay, so I think that's a very good one. So it seems as though this little brochure, I'd only replace maybe 2 of these things. And maybe that won't be such a hard deal to do. And then I could make it more my own, and I would feel a little bit more confident in this, because that one about the airplane dipping its nose, I think is really kind of lame. We've got to graduate up here and start figuring out that you cannot, you have to know the concept in order to talk to these educated people, because they will just laugh at you. And if you come at them and tell them something that's logical and sensible, then they're going to respect you and maybe listen. So this density and buoyancy thing, I've got to address this again, because I still hear some people using it. Density and buoyancy are not forces, guys. They are properties. Density and buoyancy are properties within the force. Okay? They do not define down. They could give you a clue as to the direction of down, but they do not define down. So it has to be another force that is causing the direction. Okay? So come up with something. I say it is my opinion that it could be diamagnetism, and it's really a push down, not a pull down. And there was somebody else, and I have to, I don't write all these things down when I'm talking to people, but somebody else was saying something about the force getting stronger as you go higher. And I said, well, that would work with diamagnetism, and they agreed. And so that was an interesting idea. So, going through the, paying the toll here with my Easy Pass. I am heading to the Albury Arboretum.
Keep left, then keep right.
Okay.
In 0.2 miles, keep right.
So, the Albury Arboretum, I belong to a grocery co-op, and for that we have to work 6 hours a year.
Right.
And I chose to do my work with, and I have to do 12 hours because my mother is 91, and so she can't really do like hard yard work anymore. raking and sweeping is okay, but we were digging out bushes and whatnot. But I did take her to the co-op last Friday night, and we ate dinner there, and they have a Friday night thing. Sorry. So
5.6 miles.
Okay. So afterwards, I had signed up to do cleanup afterwards, which meant putting away the tables and chairs and the trash, and we swept up the floor. And I thought, well, Mom can come and help me do that. So we went and ate dinner, and she helped me do that. So she really enjoyed it too. I mean, you know, she does. So that was good. I'm so thankful that she can still walk and get around. Although she's like 98 pounds, so it wouldn't be much for me to carry her. So anyway, sorry for the sidetrack. Yeah, the pull down. The pull down or push down. And I tell people that it's my opinion, and I go into the tourist field, which is, some people are really on to that too, and we think there's a lot to that because it coincides with Tesla and his teaching of the free-flowing electricity, and the mud flood buildings that we're finding with the electricity collection devices that were filled with mercury and all of that. So if you're not aware of those things, look into it. Flat Earth British. He has 25,000 people subbed now on his channel, and there are other channels. UAP is another good one. I like that. And there was another good video about buildings, and then I compared. I have to find that video because you look at the Bible, and in there it describes the, oh no, don't give me a brain fart here. What's that called? The structure that they, tabernacle. Thank you. The tabernacle has measurements, and there's even a place out in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where they have this life-size tabernacle set up. And I think I'm going to go out there, take a day trip, and go out there and talk to those people and show them what I'm finding when I get that other video, because it really looks similar. There was like a long hall, and then like a big front room, and then a smaller room in the back, and then where they want the altar placed and all of that. It's all like laid out. So I think it has something to do with the way these buildings were structured. Now, they will tell you that the early Hebrews were nomadic, and that's why it was only made out of curtains. But no, I don't think so. I think that it could have actually been stone and just covered with curtains. It does not say that it has to, you know, only be constructed of curtains. And you know, the Bible was tampered with. So I do believe that. I do believe they took out the book of Enoch. And then people will say, well, Marilyn, you can't be a Christian because God said his word would be preserved. Okay, well, it didn't say, he did not say it would be preserved in the King James Version, did he? The Ethiopian Bible has the book of Enoch in it. So maybe that's the one that he preserved, and you guys need to go there and read that one. You see, you cannot just, there's people who are really good Christians, and there's two ladies I know who are always out there protesting at the abortion clinics and begging mothers not to abort their children. And they are of that ilk where they say the King James Version is the true and correct version. Well, I kind of think, and they won't even look at the book of Enoch. And that makes me a little sad, because I think that there's a lot of history in there and true things. And with everything, we have to be discerning. Okay? So if you have these things in your mind and you're thinking, okay, that could possibly be true, and you ask for God to reveal the truth to you, then this will come. It will come. And that's the faith that you have to have, that it will come. Okay? So, but if you don't ever read it and you reject it on its face and say, well, it's not in my King James Version, then how are you ever going to know? You don't. So let's not be afraid to look. Enoch was even mentioned in the Bible several times, so I think he passes the test. And he was a very righteous man. God himself took him up without him dying. So there's something for you. All right. I do want to make my own little brochure. Maybe just replace those two things, and or clarify them. And let's everybody in 2019, let's all get out and hit the streets. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. You know, get out there. If you cannot get out of the house, you get the postcards from flatearth101.com, and you put the labels on them and you send them out. That's you hitting the streets the best way you can. Do you understand? We've got to reach people that we don't know. And also, the Christians, if you can get some brochures, and while they're in their church, go through the parking lot and just put them on the cars. It's not a political thing. It's opening them up to Scripture. And we're going to get some new stuff out with Scripture in it. There's one thing that just has pictures on it that I really like that. So it's like even people who can't read very well can see that, you know. So I'm going to do something about getting that out in production and available on flatearth101.com website. So I'm in the city now. I'm going to have to pay more attention. So thanks for listening today, and I hope you have a blessed day, and make 2019 Flat Earth's biggest year yet. So get out there and hit the streets. Love you. Bye.